Information about new cars is so easy to come by. It's actually quite difficult because there's so many things to know. So today, we're gonna go over the 2023 Ioniq 5 package by package by package. Let's go. Now, although there are 3 different varieties of the Ioniq 5, even if you get the SE, which I think is Hyundai language for standard edition, you get a lot of cool features, and first and foremost is safety. Every single Ioniq 5 is going to bring automatic braking assist to hit the brakes if you don't have time to, have lane keeping and lane following assist to help keep you in the middle of the road while you're driving at lower or highway speeds, and you also do have blind spots with rear cross detection. Not only will you know if someone's next to you, you'll know if somebody's passing behind you when you're in reverse. Now, another concern of electric cars is the range. How far will it get me on a full battery? Well, with the SE, you have 3 different powertrain options. If you go with the SE standard range, you will get 168 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you also do get 220 miles of range, so if you just wanted to putt around the city, that is the perfect car for you. Now, let's say if you need an all-wheel drive system. No worries, the Ioniq 5 has you covered, because if you happen to go all-wheel drive, you get an extra motor, and it takes your range up to 266. But remember, the dual motors really kick you in the pants, because not only do you have 320 horsepower, you have 446 pound-feet of torque. So when you step on the accelerator, you're going to feel it throw back in your seat. Now, if you want the longest range possible, what you're going to want is the SE rear-wheel drive. It is different than the standard range because not only does it have 225 horsepower, it actually gives you 303 miles of range. So if you want to do some interstate cruising, that might be the one you want to go for. Another great thing about buying these cars new is that you get 2 years of free 30-minute charging sessions at Electrify America. Just set up your account, and if you happen to live close, go and get your car charged up for free for those 2 years. And something incredible about every single Ioniq 5, if you're at 10% battery and find a quick charger, you can go from 10% to 80% battery in 18 minutes. Absolutely incredible. Another claim to fame that SE has is 2 12.3-inch displays. One, of course, is a touchscreen navigation that you could use to navigate or use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or a variety of setup features. And right in front of the driver, you do have the driver's information cluster. And something fun is that when you actually hit drive mode, you can actually see the graphics change depending on whichever mode you're on. Besides safety and technology, another thing that a lot of people appreciate is the design. It's very rare that you see a car very uniquely styled, and not only with the styling, you have the pixelated elements for the headlights and also the taillights. But something that you may have overlooked are the door handles. They're not your standard grab handles. They actually swing out so you can grab them and enter the car. And when you're driving those cars, they fold flush against the body for a little bit less aerodynamic resistance, so that we get just a hair further. So that's a cool little detail about the Ioniq 5 that I really like. Now, I don't know if any of you could tell, but I've been mentioning an SE, where behind me, this car is technically the SEL. And one way you could tell that it's the SEL is to look at the bumpers, because the SEL is the first package to bring parking sensors front and on the rear. So if you happen to be getting close to an object, it'll be quicker the closer you get. And that is just one of the features that make the SEL the SEL. Another improvement that Hyundai made on the SEL is the liftgate, because now you automatically get the electric liftgate. But not only is it electric, it's also a smart liftgate, meaning that you do not, I repeat, you do not have to kick your leg in order for the liftgate to open. Have the key in your pocket and then stand within 3 feet of that rear bumper. Then the door will open automatically. You do not have to do a little leg dance for the car to open, and that's why Hyundai and the liftgate is so smart on the Ioniq 5. Oh, and by the way, I am a real sales consultant here in Orlando, so if you're looking to buy this or any new Hyundai or Genesis for that matter, click the link below that says schedule with Miguel, and if you make an appointment with me, I will give you $500 off of whatever car you're looking to buy. But back to the Ioniq 5. Now, not only is the cargo room very generous, but another great thing is that the wheelbase of the Ioniq 5 is pretty similar than the Hyundai Palisade, which is the 3-row SUV, just because they need a little bit more room for that extra power pack under the floor. But being that it does have a long wheelbase, if you happen to be sitting in the back, you are going to love that extra legroom, just like I did right here. And being that we're talking about the interior, one of the most drastic differences on the interior are the seating surfaces, because as opposed to just getting the standard cloth that you'd find on the SEs, the SEL actually brings the H-Tex leather, which makes it look and feel even that much more upscale. Now, another very vivid and very visual difference on the interior are the ambient lighting surfaces, which during the day you could see, but at night really set the mood of the car. You can set them from red, or to blue and everything else in between. Don't think the people in back are gonna have all the fun, because once you hop up front, you still have the same H-Text leather that you did in the back, but you have access to something new, and that is the wireless charging pad. So if your phone is capable, place it on the pad and it's gonna start to charge. And that wireless charging pad serves a double purpose because you also have Hyundai digital key. What that means is that you could actually use your phone as your key to your car instead of having to take big old keys in your pocket or in your purse. Now, as of right now, last I've heard, it was only available for Android phones, but I know Hyundai is really pushing for Apple to come on board. So whenever you do buy this car, check your local dealer for details. Now, the sensation of driving an electric car is very different than driving an internal combustion engine car, but something Hyundai gives you on the SEL is called Highway Drive Assist 2. The Highway Drive Assist part means that it'll help maintain distance from you if you're using your smart cruise control from the car you're following. It'll also help you maintain position in your lane instead of accidentally departing it if you happen to get distracted on the highway. And the Highway Driving Assist 2 part means that if you put on your blinker left or right, when the time is right, the car will actually switch lanes for you just by using the blinker. And no, you don't have to pay $4,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 extra. All that is already included in the price of the SEL. Now, as you can tell, the SEL is really nicely equipped, but there is room for improvement because we are going straight to the top. Up next, the Ioniq 5 Limited. Let's go. Using the SE and SEL as a springboard, the Limited really embodies and epitomizes what the Ioniq 5 actually is. And although the overall design and space is the same, there are a few exclusive factors that only the Limited brings. One of those factors is actually the wheel arches, because as you can see on the SE and SEL, you do not have painted wheel arches, but on the Limited, you do. Now, if you happen to get a Limited rear-wheel drive with 303 miles of range, the rims will be the same as on the SE and SEL. But if you happen to have the all-wheel drive model with all that power, you actually do get these 20-inch rims that are exclusive to the Limited all-wheel drive. Another exclusive feature that you'll find only in the Ioniq Limited is the Smart Park Assist. So if you want to bring it in or out of the garage, or if it's just in a very confined parking space, use the key so that way you don't have to be worried about getting stuck in a tight spot. Now, once you actually hop inside, you will realize that the Limited has a lot of stuff. And if you happen to live in a multi-people household, no worries, because you do have memory seats underneath the memory seat buttons. Another thing you're gonna notice is the word Bose, because the Ioniq 5 Limited has an 8-speaker Bose system that has phenomenal sound quality when you're jamming out on the road. Now, this next feature makes so much sense, I am shocked more cars don't even offer it, and it is the relaxation function of the driver's seat. Being that it's an electric car, it's gonna spend a good amount of time charging. So Hyundai wants to make sure you are recharged and rested just as well, because if you push a button on the side of the driver's seat, there's gonna be a little pop-up message on the touchscreen that says, make sure nobody's behind you. The reason is because when you hit that button again, it's not only gonna send the seat scooching back, it's actually going to recline the seat and actually raise a leg support, so that way you can go and take a nap if you wanted to while your car is charging. Now, when you are done charging your vehicle, you hit another button and it sends you back to your preset position, so that way you can be relaxed and ready to go on your next adventure. Now, longtime subscribers know that Hyundai likes to put heads-up displays on a lot of their fancy vehicles, and the Ioniq 5 Limited is definitely the fanciest. And yes, it does have heads-up display, but this includes the next generation augmented reality heads-up display. It is more closer to a hologram image than just a traditional image shot up on the glass. So if you need to make a left-hand turn, it'll show you exactly where to make the turn. And when you finally make it to your destination, parking is a breeze, not just with Smart Park, but also with your 360-degree camera. And this last feature I'm gonna talk about straddles interior and exterior feature, and it is so nice, Hyundai gave it its own name. It is the Vision Panoramic Sunroof on the Ioniq 5, so that way if you're cruising down the open blue sky or in a cityscape, the passengers in the back will be rewarded to a panoramic view of everything around and above their head, really making the experience that much more special. So guys, those are some of the major differences between all three levels of the Ioniq 5, SE, SEL, and Limited. And no, I didn't talk about every single little detail of the car because it would take way too long and I'm too fun for that. But if you like these videos, go ahead, subscribe, and make sure you hit the little bell notification to be alerted the second new video gets dropped on my channel. And make sure you leave me a few comments of what else you'd like to see. But until next time, I'm Miguel Car Guy, and I'll see you soon. For the first 2 years, you do get free. This Gravity Gold Matte Ioniq 5 is a fine. So let's see if this works. Don't fall.